What up, Homedawgs? My name is Gokey Gamer, coach of the Walking Meta Chance, and welcome everybody to week 3 of the NBBL, where this week you're going to be going up against Zach Mander, coach of the Canadian Sarah Ledges. Here are the teams. What? I am so immensely excited for this. Now, if you are wondering why you're seeing Deja Vu, we just battled actually in the UCDL, which went up yesterday, if I am timing this correctly. So, this is a very scary team. I'm hoping to do well, but I do feel much better about this matchup than I did my UCDL matchup. So, we're going to see Gengar, Entei, Lucario, Flygon, Blastoise, and Clefable. Okay, so, very interesting. I'm glad not to see Mandibuzz. That's a mon I'm very glad not to see. Blastoise makes sense. I'm also so glad not to see Electros here. That's amazing for me. So, I'm wondering if Flygon is Assault Vest. I imagine it probably is. Let's see. I could just straight up lead Slacking and just nuke something off the face of the earth. I could do that. I could lead Fez if I really wanted to. What do I want to lead off with here, I wonder? Steampunk is also not a bad lead here, especially if there is, like, if Flygon switches in, I can switch into Olive Oil. I think Steampunk might be my lead. Yeah, the Steampunk is going to be my lead. It checks everything that I want it to, and if the, like, if something switches in that Volcanion doesn't want to be in against, then I have a check for that. So that's what I'm going to do. Good luck up to my opponent. Let's freaking do this. Hoping for a dub. Let's freaking go. Alrighty, yo, baby. Let's hope this battle goes well. Alright, what are we going to see as the lead here, I wonder? Love the hat, by the way. We're going to see Mario Fan 2127, that is Entei. Perfect. I'm okay with this lead. This is a fantastic lead for me. I love this a lot. Steam Eruption is just going to nuke you. I have a feeling you're probably switching into Blastoise. I don't care. I'm going to be so for real. I'm going to be so honest for real, for reals. We're going to see Mr. G. Is that going to be the Big Man Blastoise? That is going to be Big Man Blastoise. So, we're going to fire for Steam Eruption. I'd love to get a burn here just to start chipping this thing down. That'd be pretty cool. Thank you. Asking you shall receive. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. No. No. I'm so sorry. Alright, so I should outspeed this, and I'm going to go for a taunt. I actually won't outspeed this, most likely. But I do still kind of want to fire off a taunt here. I think firing off a taunt is pretty safe, so I will go for a taunt. We're going to see a flip turn. We stay in with Water Absorb, so very interesting. We're going to fire off a taunt here. My guess is you're probably going to switch out now. I'm okay with this, honestly. Can I just go for a Will-O-Wisp? You definitely want to swap here. I think I'm just going to go for a Willow. I'm going to go for a Willow now. I don't think there's anything you can do against me. I'm very interested as to why they clicked. They were predicting me to swap, but I didn't swap. Okay, we're going to see an Earthquake. Okay, so this is physical. That's fine. That does nothing. That was a crit! That's crazy. That is actually insane work. Okay, if you're physical, I think I'm going to switch it to Olive Oil. That's crazy, dude. Oh my god, that's insane. I cannot believe that. That was a crit. I'm hoping that they... Okay, it looks like they do go for an attack here. We are taunted, so we are guaranteed getting the grassy terrain up, which is really nice. We're gonna go into Olive Oil. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's see what they want to do here. We just see another EQ. That's fine. We're gonna immediately heal this damage back up. Like, lickety split. We're gonna do the Seed Sower, which is great. Love to see that. And now I'm just gonna double back into Volcanion. I think I'm gonna predict the flip turn and just double back into Volcanion. I like that a lot. We are a Terrain Extender as well, so this is gonna be staying up for a while. I could also honestly go Jelly Bean and click Alluring Voice. I kind of like that too, but I think you're gonna go for a flip turn, so I'm gonna double back into Steampunk. Alright, yeah, it looks like you're going for a flip, so if you stayed in against an Arboliva, you're going for a flip. So I'm gonna go into Steampunk here. Bada bing, bada boom. And we are going to see Mirror Coat. Okay, so you are Flip Turn, Earthquake, Mirror Coat, and another attack of some kind. Maybe Yawn? I don't think you have Yawn on this actually now. So that's important to note. Okay then. Cool. We're gonna see that they shake off the taunt as well. Okay, so Earthquake is going to do literally nothing to this, so I'm very tempted to go for a Sludge Wave here, but I am also pretty scared of a Mirror Coat. So I might go for a taunt here. I think I'm actually going to Willow here on a swap. I don't think you're going to stay in versus me. Now that, okay, we're just going to see an Ice Spinner. Okay, so you get rid of the terrain. Okay, that's fine. So you reveal the full moveset. That does nothing. That's crazy. That is insane. Okay, so you're wanting to stay in versus me, which is very interesting. So I bet you're AV. You're probably AV. Okay, so you're burned. That doesn't help you in the long run, I don't feel. Like, I feel like that doesn't really help you in the long run. So I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to keep clicking Willow, I guess. If you want to stay in, fine. We're just going to see an EQ. Okay, so you're gonna just try and stay in versus me. Okay, this is a very interesting situation. If Blastoise can go down here, that'd be really great. How much damage am I doing with this? Let's see, Steam Eruption does like a tiny chunk of damage. I think you're going to predict me to swap now, and you're either going to go for a Mirror Coat or an Ice Spinner. So I think I might just click Willow again, just to see what you want to do. I don't want to risk the Mirror Coat popping off. We're just going to see another EQ. Okay. That is fine. You don't want anything to get burned, so you're letting this go down. Okay, that's fine. How can I take advantage of this, I wonder? I'm very curious. We could see a flip turn here. If we see a flip turn, that would kind of suck, but it do be like that. I guess Olive Oil is a pretty safe switch, so I'll go ahead and do that. I'll switch into Olive Oil here. This is a very interesting situation. This is very strange. I wasn't expecting this game to start off like this, I won't lie. Volcanion is getting really chipped, which I'm not a big fan of. We're gonna see another EQ, that's fine. We could just go for a Giga Drain here, because clearly you want to stay in versus me for whatever reason. Does that bring in anything, though, is what I'm concerned about. I could also just click Encore, and I kind of like that. I think what I might do here is I might go ahead and click Encore. I do like clicking Encore here. Do I? No, not really. Jolteon is such a free switch, too, man. I think what I'm going to do, I'll go for a Giga Drain. I'll take the bait. We're probably gonna see. Okay, now we see the swap. So something is taking a Giga Drain here. It's probably gonna be Entei if I had to guess. Yeah, it's gonna be Entei that switches back in. That's fine. I'm okay with this. We're gonna fire up a Giga Drain to get some HP back and do some fun shenanigans with that. That's a lot of damage. Holy crap. Yo, that's kind of crazy. Critical hit. I'm so sorry about that crit. I am getting all the hacks in this game, apparently. That is unfortunate. So I really want to stay in. I don't think you go for a Sacred Fire when I have a Volcanion here. So I think I'm tempted to go into and click Earth Power. I think you're going to go for a ground attack. I'm going to go for Earth Power here. I'm going to stay in and go for Earth Power. Man, okay, let's see if you're banded. You're not banded. Okay, that's good. That is good. So we're going to fire off an Earth Power here. Bada bing, bada boom. Entei is just dead. Okay, well, another crit? Dude! Arboliva is going nuts. I am so sorry. I was definitely not expecting you to stay in, but yeah, that is crazy. Wow. Holy. Absolutely insane work. Wow. Arboliva is just angry at the world, apparently. Where does the Brandon P come in? That's going to be Clef. So Clef is switching in here. I'm okay with this. I think I'm just going to fire off a Giga Drain. Well, actually, no. I think I'm just going to go into, I'm going to go into this. I'm going to go into my Pheasantipity, and I'm just going to start spamming Acid Spray. There we go. Words. I like words. Words are good sometimes. All right, we're going to see a Psy Shock. Okay, well played. This should do a decent chunk of damage. That's a lot of damage, actually. Hold up. Do I get any intel from that? Okay, you must be Life Orb. I bet you're Life Orb. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap into Farigiraf then. I'm gonna double into Farigiraf. I bet you're Life Orb. Okay, so this is no longer a switch. That's good to know. Okay, yeah, that's Life Orb Clef. That's definitely what that seems like to me. So this shouldn't do too much damage to me. How much does Moonblast do? Moonblast. It'll do a decent chunk, but not too bad. Yeah, that's livable. I can work with that. We're gonna see another Psyshock here, that's fine. Okay. So Psyshock's gonna do a tiniest chunk of damage. Love to see that. We're gonna get some more HP recovery, and now I think I'm gonna go ahead and fire off a moon or like a thing, a Future Sight. Yeah, I'll fire off a Future Sight here. I like going for the Future Sight play. I could also go for a Psychic Noise next turn as well if I really want to. We'll see what I want to do. Now that Mandibuzz isn't here, I can just run like Mono Psychic on this spawn, which is amazing. I really like that a lot. There's also no Terra Cap, which is great. So this is an okay situation so far. This is okay. Blastoise is essentially like heavily neutered because yeah, Blastoise is essentially just fodder, which I do very much like. We're gonna see a Moonblast here. It's gonna do a pretty big decent chunk of damage, and by decent chunk I mean nothing. We're gonna fire up a Future Sight here. Bada bing, bada boom. Perfect. Alrighty. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna go for a Wish because I wall this thing and I need this thing to stay alive. So I'm gonna go for a Wish here. We're gonna see. Oh, do they go for Mirror Coats? Is that what they go for here? Oh no, is it a speed tie? Oh, interesting. We speed tie. Oh, we speed tie. Okay, so that's no investment Clef. That's actually really important information to have. I'm gonna go for Protect here. Bada bing, bada boom. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, we're gonna go ahead and see Calm Mind. Okay, so that does scare me a little bit. That was afraid of that. Calm Mind is scary. We're gonna go for the Future Sight attack. Bada bing, bada boom. Beautiful. Okay. Alrighty-o. So I do want to keep Farigiraf around because, yes. I think I might let Fez go, unfortunately. Fez is not really that useful here at this point, so I will go ahead and swap in Fez. If they go for another Calm Mind, I just immediately fire off an Acid Spray and try to weaken it down. Or I could even fire off a Moonblast. I think I'll fire off an Acid Spray, though, just to try to weaken it down. Let's see what they go for here. We just see a Moonblast. Do we take this Moonblast, actually? We do. Okay, that's good. Special attack fell. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm going to fire off an Acid Spray just so that way I can weaken down your Spadef a little bit. We're going to see the swap, actually. Very interesting. Let's see what wants to switch in against this. We're going to see possibly Lucario. Josh, that sounds like it's probably Lucario. That is Gengar, actually. Very interesting. So we're going to fire off an Acid Spray. Bada bing, bada boom. Does it, like, the tiniest chunk of damage. I guess they didn't want Clef to get, like, poisoned. So, but my guess is it's Magic Guard. You might be unaware, but I thought it was Magic Guard. I do kind of want to keep Clef around, or Pheasantipity around as a sack, so I will go ahead and swap back into Farigiraf here. This could be a pretty obvious play, but I'm literally built to, like, wall this Pokemon specifically. So, we're going to see a Sludge Wave. Bada bing, bada boom. That makes sense. That does a chunk of damage. We're going to see that this is Life Orb as well. I think what I'm going to do here, I will go ahead and Psychic Noise. I think I can take 2, so I'm going to try and tank 2. Or at the very least, fire off a Psychic type attack against something, which is great. So we're going to fire off a Psychic Noise. Bada bing, bada boom. And hopefully we either deal a crap ton of damage to this. We're gonna see Sludge Wave. Also, this is actually Life Orb. That's really good to know. We do die to this, unfortunately, but this is Life Orb. That is amazing to know. Okay. So this is Life Orb. So Jolteon can come in for free against this and just wreak havoc. And I'm very tempted to just do that. Yeah, I'm gonna send in Jolteon here. This is Jolteon's time to shine. I should always outspeed Gengar, right? I should always outspeed. Yes, I do. Perfect. Jolteon's gonna come in and it's gonna do a crap ton of damage to this. My guess is you have to swap here. Just in case you don't, I'm going to go for a Shadow Ball. Let's see here, Clefable. I will go ahead and just click Shadow Ball. I think Shadow Ball is the safest play, just in case the, whatchamacallit comes in, the Flygon. We're gonna go ahead and see the swap. Let's see if it's Flygon. It's gonna be Mr. G. That's gonna be, I think that's Clef? No, that's Blastoise. That's Big Man Blastoise. So Big Man Blastoise is the sack. Very interesting, I must say. Yeah, does a decent chunk of damage. The burn is fine. Okay, so that is fine by me. I'm gonna go ahead and swap. I could swap into Fez on an Ice Spinner. I think I'll go into Olive Oil, though. I do want to go into Olive Oil here to trigger the Grassy Terrain. I do really like that play a lot. We're gonna go into Olive Oil, bada bing, bada boom. Really like this play a lot, and it's gonna be nice. We're gonna see an EQ. Perfect. That is exactly what I wanted. 64. Yep. That makes sense. Seed Sower ability is triggered. We'd love to see that. Alrighty, now I should be able to live an Ice Spinner, I think, at this range. My guess is, anyways. Hopefully. So I think what I might do. Well, okay, hold on. Let me think about this. Unless you have investment, I should always live this. So I'm gonna go for a Giga Drain here. We're gonna see an Ice Spinner. That makes sense. We should live this in theory. Boom. Yep, we do. All right, so we're gonna get a decent chunk of HP back, which is good. This might not kill, but it doesn't. But the burn will finish it off. So we get a lot of HP back. Love to see that. Big Man Blastoise finally goes down. Yep, and nothing of value was lost. So we do still have the possibility of terrain in the future, which is really good. I'm a big fan of this. We could see a Calm Mind shenanigans going off, but if we do, then I just go into Slacking, or I go Encore, and then I go into Slacking if we see the Clefable come in. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm very curious to see what wants to switch in here. It could also be Gengar. Gengar could be the swap, in which case I think I might let the Pheasantipity go down. We're gonna see Brandon P. That's Clef, right? Yeah, that's Clef. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and go for an Encore here. I want this thing. Okay, so Moonblast is going to be the play. That's fine. Okay, so let's see here. We immediately set up the terrain as well, which is great. Volcanion still, like nukes this thing, so I'm just going to do this. Let's go into Steampunk here. Bada bing, bada boom. Beautiful. Now, I could go for a Sludge Wave here. I don't think the Lucario wants to switch in. We could see a Flygon switch as well. Steam Eruption's a very safe play for me to make, and I'm very tempted to do that too. I think what I might do here is I might go for Taunt, but I think you're going to just attack me. So I'm going to go for a Steam Eruption here. We do see that they stay in. We're going to fire up a Steam Eruption here. Bada bing, bada boom. Does a lot of damage. Love to see that. We're just going to see a raw Thunderbolt. Okay, so Thunderbolt's going to do a lot of damage, and it does kill. Okay, that's fine, though. Now you're in range of Jolteon. You're in range of Jolteon. You're in range of Slacking. You're in range of even, like, Pheasantipity. So actually what I might do here, low-key, is I might go into Fez and just click Moonblast here. Yeah, I'll go into Fez. I'll click Acid Spray on whatever wants to switch in here, I think, or even if this wants to stay in. Yeah, I'm going to click Acid Spray here. This is great for Jolteon. Yeah, I'm gonna Acid Spray here. I think that's my best play. We're gonna go for an Acid Spray. Bada bing, bada boom. Beautiful. Love to see that. So you're gonna take yours for death. The Harshly Falls. That's great. We're gonna see a Psyshock. That's fine. So immediately Jolteon is just a very free switch, and I really like that a lot. I think an Alluring Voice would kill straight up. Yeah, an Alluring Voice should always kill, so I'm really hoping to see Flygon as the switch here. That would be absolutely phenomenal for me. We're gonna go into Jelly Bean. I'm hoping it's not Scarf Flygon. That would be pretty great. Alluring Voice should always kill. We're gonna go for an Alluring Voice here. Bada bing, bada boom. Beautiful. Clefable goes down. So, you could think I am, like, Specs. You could think I'm choiced. You could think I'm not choiced. So, I'm very curious to see what you want to do here. We're gonna see Zell. That's going to be, is that Flygon? That is going to be Lucario, actually. So Lucario is going to switch in. I think a close combat's what's going to pop off here, if I had to guess. So I think I might just let this go down. I'm going to fire off an Alluring Voice. Alluring Voice, bada bing, bada boom. Badooskies. Yeah, I think actually I lose this. Yeah, we're going to see close combat. Does that kill? Yeah, it does. Okay, well played. Yeah, unfortunate. That is a bit of an unfortunate loss for me. It do be like that. Really well played. Yeah, man. How could I play that differently? I'm gonna be so for real, I don't know how I could have played that much better. This is our first loss of the season to Zachmander, which is unfortunate. Well, not to Zachmander, but our first loss, you get what I'm trying to say. Our first loss of the season is what I'm trying to say. I think a knockoff from this might kill, actually. Yeah, knockoff from this will kill, so I'm just gonna go for a knockoff just on the off chance that I live. There's no reason I should, though. I should always die here, unfortunately. Yeah, really well played. It do be like that, unfortunately. Alright, let's see it. We outspeed, so Lucario just drops. We lock ourselves into knockoff, but we are Truant, so we should just always die. I think Gengar can come in and just win the game from here. Yeah, Sludge Wave should always, like, just kill me outright. Unfortunate, unfortunate. The Truant ability is a bit of a sadge. Sludge Wave, yeah. My opponent did a really great job preventing Jolteon from popping off, so it do be like that sometimes. We're gonna see the Truant. Yep, that makes sense. Okay. At least, very least, it was a 2-0 loss, so it wasn't horrible. But, yeah, I'm trying to think what else I could have done differently. I don't know. I can't think of anything else. My opponent just played this really well. So yeah, Protect, that makes sense. Okay, well played. Love to see the tech. That is very, very cool tech. Mad respect to that. I guess there's not really much else to say. We're gonna go ahead and drop to the Sludge Wave. GG's once again to Zachmander. My opponent's side of the battle and links to their channel will be down in the description below, so be sure to check them out. This is a really, really good game. Really, really well played. I'm a little bit disappointed at how I played because I felt like I had control for a large portion of that. The Clefable set definitely caught me off guard because I was expecting it to be more like setup store power type deal. But yeah, that's the struggle with going up against Clefable, right? Like, Clefable is such a hard Pokemon to go up against. But again, at the very least, it was only a 2-0 loss. We're still looking really, really good. We're 2-1 in this league currently. 1-2 in UCDL, 2-1 in this one. Lost to Zachmander in both leagues, so it do be like that sometimes, but we will bounce back, I'm sure. This team is just so good. So yeah. Again, a little bit disappointed with how I played that, but hey, it happens. Once again, GG's to my opponent. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what your favorite opponent of the battle was down in the comment section below. Be sure to check out Zachmander, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace out, mates!